influenced by Europe and America. You can tell what will sell. You know, so you can tell, do this. Kulichana is selling right now, rap like him or sound like him or go to his producer. So originality died like that. But it's there. There's just like so-called mainstream and the so-called underground, and we all make the same amount of money. Sorry, I must speak for myself. Some don't really make money. Like it does in South Africa. It's not so different. The guys who have deals, the only advantage is they get sponsors and they get big managers who get them good gigs. Language, you can rap in whatever language you're comfortable in. I try and mix it up. This particular thing doesn't have a lot of is Zulu, but my accent is pretty South African. But I say ass, I don't say arse. It's just one of those things. See, I learned English watching TV, so I have a funny accent. Like I went to a colored school, and then I went to Carter when it was a white school, and then I went to university with Nigerians and Americans, and I just have a funny accent. Like so, but I've had to speak English since I was 8 years old, so to me it comes more naturally. It's Zulu. Sometimes I'm breaking laws when I write it. I'm just like. But I do have songs in Zulu, so I'd say it's 70% English, 30% is Zulu. But it's whatever you feel comfortable in. Fortunately for us, everything works. Kulichana, we can't hear what he's saying, but we enjoy his music, and so it does Double HP, you know. Yeah. You guys are shy. Like, I'm not complaining. See, shy. Okay. I will have the beautiful Nelly to come and present the first poet. I'm excited. Part of what I do is I host events, so I wanted to show you guys the events. Since I'm launching the book, I didn't want to talk much about it. Since I'm relaunching it, it's already been out. So I also do events, and what you're about to see is the kind of events I do. So I might email you and say come to my event. You see young people speaking their minds. Some rapping, some reciting, some reading. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you for coming.
We will marry these poems, and don't ask me who will say the sweetest vow between the poem and the poet. But I can picture when it's time for the poet to express his love to the poem, he'll step out of a casket just to release 14 lines. Let me not to the marriage of true minds. Admit epidemics, for love is not love which alters when alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. It is an ever-fixed mark that looks upon time but is never shaken. It is a star in every wandering dark whose worth is unknown although his height be taken. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out until the edge of doom. If this be added and upon me proved, I never write, and no man has ever loved. See, one day we will marry these poems. And don't ask me who will say the sweetest vow between the poem and the poet, but I can picture the poem telling the poet that I love you. Without me, there is no you, but I live inside of you. So without you, there is no me. Poet, you are my rock, and I will prove that even when the guitar strings are off tune, my love for you is equal to the number of stars that may be found in 3 skies. I love you like the heart loves to pump blood, and I know, poets, that to me your poem, you are dying to pour your heart out, but don't. Instead, hold me close to your chest like a pack of cards. Release me in good time to earn yourself a check. Mate, poet, I will be with you in sickness and in health, in good performances and in bad. Thank you. I always thought it is good for black guys to say Shakespeare. See, none of you guys get bored. I know it's probably way back when you guys were in high school. If you guys can remember those times, some of you you never enjoyed Shakespeare this much, eh? Okay, but thank you. My last poem, and then I'm out of your hair. It feels, this is more like a story more than anything else. I've been charged and said, you write stories and not poetry, but hey, it's cool. So it feels like the other day in July, where Samantha and I on a camping site would hold hands. We would count to 20 before opening our eyes and looking for the other person because we played this game called hide and seek, and we played it on camping sites so that none of us felt homesick. And sometimes we take a stick and draw squares on the floors. We start hopping around as if we were Australian kangaroos, but we're not. We're just playing hopscotch. And then the son would get fed up of watching Samantha and I play. So we'd take a vacation to the North Hemisphere and leave Africa in darkness. While the son did that, we'd put marshmallows in the fires, sing Kumbaya Malo until the sun came back, because the sun never did stay long in the North Hemisphere. Because in the North Hemisphere, there are Chinese people. I'm serious. The sun did not give the Chinese people enough time to study, because whatever that Chinese study, they tend to make a fake copy of it. So then the sun would come back to Samantha and I. We would then spin a bottle until it pointed in the direction of her and myself, because, well, that's the only reason we had for kissing. But just like Samantha and I, everybody's born with a death date. And as bizarre as the sound, you're born to die. And not so long ago, I was at Samantha's memorial service. And if my memory serves me correct, the first speaker was an old woman who came to speak on behalf of the neighbors. She wore a black two-piece and she had big glasses with thick lenses, as if they were designed to make Stevie Wonder forcefully see his keyboard even in darkness. She had 2 large eye bags and floppy skin that made wrinkles look fashionable. She said that now that Samantha is gone, she's gone to heaven to enjoy honey and milk next to God. But I know the truth, that ever since the day that Samantha and I tried to steal honey and got kissed by bees, she didn't dislike honey. And every time when she had anything that dealt with milk, she'd got so many lumps and so many spots that automatically qualified her as a cast in the 101 dimensions. And due to her allergies, she always took her coffee bag to avoid having that bad red rash that made her look like a walking, talking porcupine. And just the other day, when we were playing strip poker and she was on the losing end, she had to take off her top, and right there on God's temple, below the belly button, was a sign of a triangle and an eye. So between you and I, Samantha Honey and Milk is a beautiful imagination of me holding a gun to the head of Judas, trying to teach him that God's son is worth more than a couple of cents. I hope I'm still making sense. For the second speaker was a young girl with foreign blonde hair. Well, and she had come to speak on behalf of friends. She started off by saying that she had known Samantha for a very long time, but that's what the difference was, because I had known Samantha all my life, long enough when Romeo was still in his diapers and he did not know that he had a heart that was capable of loving Juliet, when God was still breakdancing to the sounds of Lucifer, when Cinderella had no idea that a magic wand can turn a frog into something useful for her so that she can have the time of her life before midnight. She said she had known Samantha for a very long time, but I have known Samantha all my life, long enough to tell you that she and this girl only became friends because they both realized that being saved was a waste of seconds, because boys are better than church in group, and that they should form a group because they have the same type of thoughts and they like the same type of boys. They have the same type of thoughts, that Yardley is not better than Revlon, that these two even forgot that every girl is born with natural beauty, hence they jeopardize their beauty with everything that they found in foundations. I'm not sure, but maybe it was Maybelline. Not only did these two look alike on the outside, but they started to look alike on the inside too. Not only did their blood contain of blood platelets and blood plasma, but they were both with fully blown AIDS. And nobody should care for these two, because just like how they both realized that being saved was a waste of seconds because boys are better than church in groups, they also realized that ARVs go hand in hand with every substance except water. See, this time around, it was not the pencil lead that was seduced by the paper, but it's just the paper that had an unending affection to the pen. And by the powers vested in my fingers, I started to draw a poem. I could not draw it to my fullest potential, for I'm afraid of pictures. I know what they did to South Africa when he was drawn with true colors to expose his real colors, and he was placed at the Goodman Gallery. I write this poem for a woman trying to teach her that, now look, there is more to you than your assets. The proof lies in that woman who sat her son down and said, Oscar, we are the Pistorius family, forever successful in life, so I suggest you get up and run away from your disabilities. I write this poem for a woman trying to tell her that, look, prostitution, it is a way. Away from poverty, away from heaven into hell. What the hell? Do you not care about the future that is supposed to be placed inside your belly when God aims to give you a gift? And speaking of gift, here's a gift of thought from me to you. Let us say this was the time before Christ, and you were one of the women alive during those times. Do you think God would choose not to have a son because the only thing that you value is the hair, the nails, and the mascara? I write this poem for a woman not because I have an unending affection, not because I have an unending affection to them, but also because I have a feminine side. And if that is too gauche for anybody's liking, I suggest you take a knife and cut through my sternum, count to the bones of my rib cage. If there is anything missing, please understand, I'll forever be connected to a woman. I write this poem for all women to tell you that in whatever you do, always respect God, because He's the one out of nothing but soil, who created Adam, and out of him, I'm not quite sure where, but I say it was around here, then came you. Thank you.
Wow, that was, yo, I tell you now, if you didn't like poetry tonight, then you're going to be reciting in front of your mirror tonight. You're going to be going, no, poverty, poverty. Because I know I'm definitely, I need to share this with my little human, my daughter. I'm going to be like, baby, mommy learned some poetry today. Poverty. But you know what I love about poetry is that the play on words. You deliver such a strong message. We're just playing around with words and you being so creative. I have to say, my brother, that was very inspirational. Your messages were so deep, and I'm telling you right now, everybody in this room was moved, especially when you did that to Nkosi Johnson. My word, damn, that hit home. But yeah, let me move along now before we start to wipe some tears up in here. I'm gonna call a lady by the name of Nubian Queen. She describes herself as a simple person. She's with a simple personality, so we're expecting some simplicity. Nubian Queen, show yourself. Is she here? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to skip her. I'm going to call Miss Blah Blah. Miss Blah Blah. Oh, give her a round of applause. Welcome, Miss Blah Blah.
Hey, beautiful people. Hey. Nubian Queen, really? I needed to breathe after that guy and then he just doesn't show. What are you supposed to say after him? Fairness in life? Celebrating women? No. Anyway, say a little prayer. It's nice to meet you all. And I don't know what Brian was thinking when he did this, but anyway. Blah blahs, you're wondering why would anyone call themselves that, saying whatever. It has to be said. The fact that sometimes we choose to speak the truth and other times we don't doesn't mean that the truth disappears or changes. So somebody heard me blah blah as they described it, and oh, there she goes again, blah blah. That's a compliment because I'm saying something, and if it's not inspiring you or making you dislike me, you're thinking about me at least, so the word is doing something. The poetry is the point, you know, and Dumiso so aptly put it in his poem. The poets are not the point, the poetry is the point. But before you start calling me blah blah, you can see why now. There's no dot, there's no comma, there's no exclamation. Just blah blah. Yeah, so I can protect my identity and see me in the street and call me crazy. But no, I'm not blah blah. I have no the piece I'm going to do is called Woman Still. It's not just for women, but I'm a woman, so when I was writing it, it was easy to exorcise my demons and put them in there. But it's about our behavior as people and how we just really you're still doing that. Or well, you can interpret it in any way you like, but it's not just for women, it's for all of us. But ladies, if we feel that we deserve respect or demand respect because some of us want it, then we should at least respect ourselves, I think. Because if you're still putting yourself at the door, no, because he needs to dust his feet before he gets in. No, everybody needs to be happy. I have to take care of this person and that person. And yeah, there'll be something left for myself, maybe. Well, no one's really going to respect you because you're not respecting yourself. But blah blah's taking a break. I'll do the thing now. It's called Woman Still. I can't sing. That's not the point. Still, she does not say all the things she's wanting to say. Still, she does not do all the things she's able to do. Why, woman, why? Why, woman, why? Woman still sits at the foot sole, trading her life for blessings from hemmed garments. Woman still weaves quilts from tattered paper people to keep warm. Woman still loses who she is as she searches for her whole self in other people's lives. Woman still clothes her story in words that cover hers. Woman still gives honor to her father, orgasms to her lover, security to her babies, solace to the crazy, the lazy, and just anybody really. Really, woman? Really? Why do you still give your entire self, your whole self, to help? Until you're left empty. Until your entire being feels empty and still you give. Woman gives until woman is still. Still. Still? Shh, woman, still. I'm still mystified and perplexed, mother of the world, and how you still beg and serve the very earth that you gave birth. And how you keep still as it pays you off in dirt. You keep still like the rock of the ages kept still while she was chipped at and raped by those noble men sages who are still praying to the earth mother goddess to keep them grounded. They're praying to the goddess of creation to teach them how to live. To the goddess who gives human souls to carry them over the threshold that lies between life and death. But still these half-mummy men who are crippled in spirit craft bird-like wisdom to drift the woman from the truth. And woman, still, she's pacifist and she's blinded by this mist. She loses sight of the goddess of life's gift, and now still she exists, waiting for her body to drift out of this life because the spirit's already left. It lies suspended, unmoving, like a widow burying her husband and stillborn child, crying, grieving, aching, breaking on the inside, but stoic, motionless, frozen on the outside. She's untranquil, at a halt. She's unmoving, she's silent, she's still. Thank you kindly, and then I'll be done blah-blahing after this, but due to Nubian Queen choosing to not hold on to the sister power now, I have to actually use this whole 10 minutes. The next one, and you are beautiful, because you're really listening, and then you'll make the room actually get smaller and smaller, because like, you're actually really listening. But it's a little deceiving at first, so you're going to really need to listen to this. I had not planned to do it, but thank you, Nubian Queen. Infidelity. I am your lover's lover. I am your lover's lover. And don't cry when you discover that only her body lies in that prison you've devised to keep her by your side. It's true. Her mind is flying, trying to reach that high she felt when she was by my side. I am your love's love. Someday you will discover that she cries. She cries at night, longing to be at my side. It's strange, really. You're the reason we came to be. Don't you remember that night when you were lonely, and I was empty. And you said you needed me, wanted me desperately, how you would make me come out of my senses. I'd fail to construct proper sentences. If only I'd just give you a try. So I was tempted. And so I tested, and I was not too disappointed. But that weekend, you're with her and you introduced me as friend. From my anger and my pain, that's where the sparks began. That's how we met. So, I loved her, and she let me consume her without reason or regret. This felt better than anything she'd ever even dreamt. Now you hate me, saying that I stole your love or your friend. But I warned you. I'd never called you. You shouldn't call me names. See, this love thing, it's not a game. I was hurt, I was in pain, but you know, for peace sake, let's bury the hatchet and start again. I mean, you shouldn't have been that guy who went with every sweet smile and soft thigh and taking her in without even asking her name. Really, but the love thing is not a game. So let's bury the hatchet and start again. Hi, my name is HIV. Thank you so much.
I have to say, you guys are a very lively audience. You guys are very participative. You listen tentatively, so that's actually really good. A person actually enjoys standing and performing in front of you. So let's give a round of applause, another one, for our poetry. I have to say, our poetry was really, really good. So let's give a round of applause for our poetry. Now we're moving on to our next piece, and it's actually Brian Khoza. Yes, he's bringing us a rap. So I hope everybody's gonna get up and dance and, you know, listen to the music and enjoy it. So please let us welcome Brian. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to teach you something, you must all say along with me. Know that Yagutanda Gaurata, me and you was like Winnie and Dada, scentless, but you love me, it is senseless. Good things can never be endless. Know that Yagutanda Gaurata, me and you was like Winnie and Dada, scentless, but you love me, it is senseless. Good things can never be endless. It's about a great love story like Winnie and Dada. You know it's Dada, right? That's what's up. When nobody thinks they'll break up, but they do. And I was only like 20 years old. But that's my friend. I call her belovedest. She was my first love. And I thought it was impossible to love until I met her. Because, see, girls like rich boys, and I wasn't rich when I was with her. That's what's up. Okay, let's go. Clap your hands, swing around, do whatever you feel like doing, or just listen. It's lights. Don't look at me strangers or whatever you do. Music was done by Rebranded. Symphonies are composed of people like you who make other spirits soar like an eagle at a time when they are feeble. I met you at the university, looking like adversity. If I approached you, you would damn near murder me. Looking so gorgeous like a porpoise in the blue waters, graceful like an angel's daughters, causing rigor mortis to that player in me. I took a slower than a tortoise, my confidence wavered like my game was the shortest. I saw happiness was imminent, I run girls that act impotent, I run other players militant, cause it's one I wouldn't wanna lose. You're the kind of like the size of Mike, I want you by my side but I feel like a wife. I got problems only time can solve them, understand? Every time I'm hurting, you're the one who holds my hand. That's sanity. In my insanity, I promise you got the best and that ain't vanity. Know that Yagutanda Gaurata. Me and you was like Winnie and Dada. Sandless, but you love me, it is senseless. Good things can never be endless. Know that